So good, the options. Well, the holidays are all about getting people together, and if they're coming to your house, you want to have something to keep everyone entertained. Candice and Alison have some great ideas to take care of that. So beautiful. And we're talking about getting the guests sort of involved, right?
Exactly.
But not in the old traditional way, in new ways.
Yeah. Yep, so it's all about participation, right?
Yeah.
So what we've set up here is we have an interactive cookie station and a hot chocolate station. So the good thing about it, it's like shared toppings. So you don't have to have two different areas in the house. You can just find a table, set this up. Again, there's no kind of wrong answer to doing it. You just want to make it easy, accessible for everybody to get involved.
Okay.
So we're going to start off with the cookies. So we have shown you, I think in the past, some macaron towers, and maybe you've seen those around. So this is our kind of Christmas take on the macaron tower, but using shortbread and gingerbread cookies. And in line with the themes of the trees that we showed you previously, we've actually taken like a traditional Christmas shape and applied a more modern, contemporary, trendy icing technique. So this one matched our unicorn tree, and this is our black and white kind of look. So it could be any kind of shape, but the idea is that your guests would get involved, they would decorate the cookies, and then you just essentially stick them on to some sort of shape like this.
That is so cool. Do you use the icing to stick it on?
Exactly, yeah.
Okay.
If you just get a really good sort of like strong sugar icing, then it should stick on there. And if not, you could sort of just like kind of push it into something. And you could ice the tower beneath it. It doesn't have to be styrofoam like the way this one is. And Candice is kind of doing one right now.
That's cool. But you know what's cute about this right away is it brings the formality of the party. It takes that away.
Totally.
Because you're in there, you're decorating, you're having some fun, you're interacting. Maybe you can meet a few people and have some fun at the decorating table. You're having fun, aren't you?
I'm having a lot of fun.
Yeah, she's doing an awesome job.
It's
and
very,
kids would love this.
good.
Like my daughter would love this. Like kids of all ages. There's no kind of like wrong answer there.
Yeah.
And yeah, like Candice is using those fun sort of sugary toppings, but lots of stuff here: crushed candy canes, little mini marshmallows, and they work for both stations. So
look at the chocolate spoons.
I know.
Everyone. That's what I am all about. The chocolate spoons.
They're environmentally sound, I guess, right?
They are. You don't need to wash them. You eat them.
That's it. That's it. That's it.
So, okay, so we've got the hot chocolate station. What else do you want to add to this to make it good for the kids and the grown-ups, perhaps?
Yeah, so I think what's really important is setting up in a way where it's very easy to go from one side to another, right? And this whole thing could be maybe even on your dining table. So it's not like a boring buffet that you would have, something that you can do sort of in a fun kind of circular way here. So how we started is we used a traditional coffee urn, but we filled it with hot milk instead.
Oh, nice.
So what you would do is you could, grab a cup, you start on that side, you start filling it with the hot milk, like I said. You can pick from the different types of hot chocolate. So if you're a salted caramel, or if you're like mint, or just traditional.
Tons of awesome flavors.
For the kids, they can start going really nuts with all the different toppings that we talked about. We talked about the chocolate spoons, which would then melt in your hot chocolate, which is delicious. And then for the adults, this Dewar's whiskey is really good for hot drinks. And
I'm not going to argue with that.
No.
And it's a fun take on the Irish coffee. And essentially a hot chocolate with whiskey is called a fireball. So Alison's making one right now. And you can really kind of go nuts with a lot of marshmallows on the top as well.
Mix it up. Big, small, little crushed candy canes. I'm using my fingers.
Maybe leave this high up so the kids can reach it.
Yeah.
Maybe. Or I think they'll get it hopefully. So the how you make that is just hot chocolate and then you add a shot.
Yeah,
of whiskey?
So you add a little bit of whiskey,
marshmallows, and whatever else you want on it.
Totally. You could put a little bit of marshmallow liqueur in there. There's no real kind of wrong answer to that either. It's just kind of like make it nice and tasty and hot. And boozy, why not?
Love it. And then I guess as the host, you are continually refilling and just making sure things are all out there for everyone to take. But the pressure's off you as well.
Yeah.
Because people are making their own.
And you can spend time with your
there.
guests.
Yeah, you can hang out with your guests.
Yeah.
I would hang out with my guests if that was my centerpiece.
Yeah.
So there's like a mountain of gluten that's been talking to me since the beginning of the show, and I can smell it. It smells amazing. So let's walk over to this side of the table because part of getting the guests involved is having a centerpiece that you can eat.
Yes,
This is incredible.
So what we are going with this one here is it's a fun take on a Christmas brunch.
That's good.
No one ever thinks about what are we going to eat the next day, and you don't want to cook. You've had a really fun Christmas Eve. This you can pre-order ahead of time, right, on Christmas Eve day, and it's set up ready to go the next morning.
So literally all you have to do is kind of put it in the center of the table and invite your guests to kind of pick away at it. We've got a variety of quiches here, little mini sandwiches. You could supplement it with some like fruit if you wanted to, but you set it like this would be on a table that's set kind of all the way around. But the point is it's engaging, and you always want your guests, you want to encourage the conversation, right? So you want them to be talking to each other. Like I know sometimes like Christmas dinners can get a little awkward between people, so you want to always make sure that, you know, you're kind of giving them like, you're teeing them up for some good conversation, and this is a great way to do it.
You guys have planned so many parties and events. Is there anything, like making it interactive is one thing, but is there anything else that you do to get strangers to get into a conversation together? Do you do the sort of introducing this person to that person and saying something they have in common and then taking off?
Well, I mean, I think you kind of have to leave your guests to, like if you notice, I think from my perspective, it's mostly about paying attention to what's happening, right? So if you notice like lulls or the conversation just isn't happening, it's your responsibility as the host to kind of jump in there and like, you know, get it going, get that flow going. Like that's kind of your job. Like you're inviting people to your house or wherever it may be, and that's really your responsibility, I think, from my perspective.
I would also think of maybe some table games. You know, you can do sort of like a Secret Santa at the table with strangers. That's always really fun, something to start it off with. Maybe splitting couples at dinner tables as well.
People will be mad at you for it, but it's worth it.
But in the end,
it's like, I don't get to be beside my boyfriend. No, but it's okay for a night. Like, go meet other people, right?
Totally, 100%.
Just a quick point. How did you build that?
So this one was actually built. We put a structure beneath it, and there's kind of toothpicks in there. Yeah, exactly. But it could be really anything, and it doesn't necessarily have to be this shape. And if it was not a breakfast kind of situation, you could have something for the evening where it was like more like charcuterie board kind of style.
You could do a dessert one, have sort of different like those the sugar cookie towers. They could also be your centerpiece afterwards. You made them the night before. Now you can place them on the centerpiece as well, and everyone can take. And you can talk about your own tree as well.
Love that.
I think it just takes the pressure off, you know, you having to do so much the night of. You can do a lot in advance.
Yeah, absolutely. So make it easier on yourself.
That's it.
I want to point out that the cookie tower is from Gilt and Glaze, and this edible centerpiece is from Nadej. It smells like heaven.